Imagine standing on the far side of the moon, utterly alone, surrounded by a silence so deep you only hear your own breath and the hum of your suit. No wind, no birds, no distant traffic, just nothing. You reach for your radio to call Houston. Static. Nothing. For Apollo astronauts, this wasn't hypothetical. Every orbit around the far side meant 45 minutes of total blackout, cut off from every human in the universe. Why? Because the moon itself blocks all radio signals. No signal can pass through 2,159 miles of rock. On Earth, we're spoiled. Phones, radios, signals bouncing everywhere. The moon offers none of that. Its silence is a physical presence, a constant reminder of isolation. Every transmission on the moon is a deliberate act, not casual chatter. For future explorers, this silence isn't just a challenge, it's the baseline. Building bases or doing science on the far side means engineering around this absolute quiet. The moon enforces a fundamental law. If something's in the way, communication stops. This silence shapes every problem we have to solve up there. It's not a bug, it's the starting point. Breaking that silence, even briefly, is a monumental achievement. Every future lunar mission must contend with this reality. The silence isn't just emptiness, it's the first thing you have to conquer. On the moon, communication is never guaranteed. The silence is the moon's most powerful lesson. On Earth, our atmosphere is an unsung hero for radio communication. The ionosphere bounces radio waves, letting signals travel far beyond the horizon. That's why a ham operator in California can talk to Japan. Signals skip off the sky, not just travel in straight lines. The atmosphere bends, scatters, and boosts signals, giving us coverage even in valleys or behind buildings. On the moon, there's no atmosphere, just vacuum. Radio waves travel in straight lines, no bouncing, no skipping. If a hill or crater blocks the path, the signal stops dead. There's no natural help, no fuzzy edges, no gray areas. You either have a direct line of sight, or you have nothing. Every lunar communication link must be engineered from scratch. The moon strips away all the shortcuts Earth gives us. We have to build the infrastructure that our atmosphere provides for free. The moon's lack of atmosphere creates a binary world for radio. Signal or no signal, nothing in between. On Earth, signals fade gradually. You get warnings as you lose connection. On the moon, it's instant. One moment, perfect clarity, the next, total silence. Imagine driving a rover, move 10 feet behind a crater rim, and your link vanishes without warning. There's no static, no fading, just a digital cliff. This makes lunar operations risky. Every path must be mapped for line of sight, not just terrain. One wrong turn, and you're isolated. That's why a lunar communications network, satellites, relays, repeaters, isn't a luxury, it's a necessity. We need overlapping coverage, so you're never out of touch. Without it, every astronaut is one small hill away from total isolation. The moon forces us to plan every move with precision. There's no room for error. Communication is either perfect or gone. That's the harsh reality of lunar exploration. Think you can use your Earth radio on the moon? Think again. Even with relays, the lunar environment is brutal for electronics. Heat is the enemy. On Earth, fans cool your gear using air. On the moon, there's no air, no convection. Heat can only escape by radiating into space. That's far less efficient. Without special radiators, your radio would overheat and fail in minutes. Radiator panels, big, white, and exposed, are essential for lunar gear. In sunlight, the moon's surface bakes at 250 degrees. At night, it plunges to 280 degrees. Electronics must survive wild temperature swings, which crack solder and destroy components. Keeping radios alive on the moon is a massive engineering challenge. Every piece of equipment needs custom thermal management. The moon's extremes punish anything not built for them. Just surviving is an achievement. On Earth, we use the ground as part of our radio antennas, a conductive, reliable foundation. The moist soil acts as a ground plane, boosting signal strength and efficiency. On the moon, the regolith is bone-dry, dusty, and a terrible conductor, like glass powder. Hammering a copper rod into lunar soil for grounding? Useless. Without a good ground, antennas waste power and perform poorly. So, we have to bring our own ground plane, wires or mesh laid out on the surface. These artificial radials create a patch of earth for the antenna to push against. Every lunar antenna needs its own man-made ground. It's extra gear to design, pack, and deploy. Simple Earth solutions don't work on the moon. Even basic radio setups become complex engineering projects. The moon forces us to rethink everything. Nothing is as easy as it is on Earth. Let's imagine putting a 2,000-watt radio amplifier on the moon. On Earth, it's a powerhouse. Talks around the world, needs big power and cooling, but it works. On the moon, first problem, power. That amp needs 4,000 watts, about 16 large solar panels, just for daylight. At night, you'd need massive batteries or a nuclear reactor. Next, heat. The amp dumps 2,000 watts of waste heat. On Earth, fans handle it. On the moon, you'd need a radiator the size of a dining table. Then, the antenna. Handling that much power requires a robust antenna and a huge artificial ground plane, dozens of wires, spread 50 feet across, all deployed by astronauts in bulky suits. What sounds simple on Earth becomes a major construction project on the moon. Power, cooling, and setup are all exponentially harder. The moon multiplies every challenge. More power doesn't mean easier communication. It means more problems to solve. Every upgrade is a logistical nightmare. The environment turns simple ideas into engineering marathons. The moon's rules are unforgiving. Even just more power is a massive undertaking. The lunar environment magnifies every difficulty. Nothing is easy up there. The moon is a tough place for radios. But what if we used its features to our advantage? Enter the Lunar Crater Radio Telescope, LCRT. The idea, find a big bowl-shaped crater on the far side and stretch a wire mesh across it to form a giant radio dish. No need for heavy structures, the crater's shape does the work. Rovers could deploy the mesh, anchoring it along the rim. In the center, a receiver hangs from cables, collecting faint signals from space. A crater miles wide could host a dish far bigger than anything on Earth, 5 or 10 times the size of Arecibo. And the location? Perfect. The far side is shielded from Earth's radio noise. TVs, phones, satellites, all silenced by the moon itself. It's the quietest spot in the inner solar system. The LCRT could listen to the universe's faintest whispers, undisturbed. The moon's silence becomes our greatest scientific asset. For decades, lunar silence was an obstacle, something to conquer with relays and satellites. We saw it as a failure, a void to fill with signals. But as Earth grows noisier, that silence is now a rare treasure. Our civilization pollutes the radio spectrum. Even remote deserts are full of interference. The Lunar Far-Side is the last truly quiet place, a pristine resource for science. That silence lets us hear signals from the dawn of time, blocked on Earth by our own noise. Now, the goal isn't just to talk on the moon, but to protect its quiet. Future lunar bases must be designed to stay radio silent, preserving this unique environment. The silence is no longer the enemy, it's the prize. We're not just conquering the void, we're learning to listen. The moon's quiet is a window into the universe. Protecting it is our new mission. The silence is our greatest gift. We began with the moon's silence as a symbol of isolation, a brutal engineering challenge. We learned the hard way. No air for cooling, no ground for antennas, no warning before losing signal. Each lesson forced us to become better engineers, to respect the moon's rules. But the biggest shift was in perspective. The silence we fought is now the moon's greatest gift, a perfect place for radio astronomy, shielded from Earth's noise. The blackout isn't just a challenge, it's an opportunity. We still face tough engineering problems, power, cooling, communication. But now we work within the silence, not against it. That empty space on the radio dial is a canvas for discovery. The moon's quiet, once a barrier, is now a gateway to the universe. We're not just overcoming silence, we're embracing it. That's the real triumph of lunar exploration.